we'll go through.
There.
Thank you. Um, thanks. Yeah, people are probably still sleeping from their Thanksgiving holiday. I don't know, but we'll let folks trickle in as they do. And in the meantime, we'll get started and it'll be recorded and folks can view this later as well. But hopefully everyone did get the agenda. I will go ahead and share my screen just for folks that may not have it easily handy. And where's the share screen button? There you go. Um, can everyone see my screen there with the agenda? Is that the right screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, great.
Yes.
So this to get emailed out for folks, and hopefully you have your own version, but if you need to follow along with mine, that's totally fine. I did want to just we can go through quickly and then we can talk about little questions or comments and what we want to accomplish here in the next couple of months. But um, I did want to just give a very brief update or recap on the Schools of the Future conference that was put on by the Hawaii Association of Independent Schools, HAIS. Rotary District 5000 Youth Services was represented there. Is actually a really good event. We partnered with my club, the Honolulu Sunrise Club, to actually man a booth for 2 days, basically at the conference. The conference was 2 days over at the Hawaii Convention Center just a couple of weeks ago, really. And it was a well-attended event, probably close to, I'm guessing, around 1,200 educators and people affiliated with the education system, along with probably another 100 or 200 vendors or so, of which Rotary Youth 5000 was one of them. We were there to speak a little bit about District 5000, a little bit about RILA, a little bit about Interact, a little bit about a lot of the different youth programs out there. And I'm happy to report that a lot of folks knew Rotary. They knew Rotary. They were surprised to hear that Rotary was involved in youth programs. So we did a little bit of education for them there and got a couple of leads. I think we had logged about 30 leads or so that we are going to follow up on. The conference was done well where we could easily do it in the app. And you may hear from either me or some other folks that did attend the conference because there was a lot of questions, I would say, around Interact. I would say around the dictionary programs, around Rotaract, around RILA, around a lot of different of the things that we talked about and the things that we do, obviously, on a normal basis here at the Youth Services Committee. And so um, if you're interested in for your specific areas, let me know. But I think what we're going to do first is we're just going to follow up with the leads and see how we can help them. And if there's any specific leads that can be addressed by a specific Rotary Club, we'll be reaching out directly to that Rotary Club to see if they can help. A couple of the things that came up were like dictionaries in elementary schools over on the Windward side. For whatever reason, this year, a couple of schools I think didn't get any, and they were on the list in the past to get dictionaries from Rotary. So we may follow up with some of the Windward clubs to see what club was supposed to do that school, and if they did, maybe it just didn't make it to that particular teacher. That's okay. We're happy to make the connections and make sure folks get the resources that they need. So just like just that was just one example. I will say a lot of folks were very interested in RILA, and of course, I didn't have a ton of information about the the Hawaii Island, the Maui Island, the Kauai Island RILAs. But what I did was I pointed them to the website rilahawaii.org, and they would then be able to see a little bit of information there, at least on the website. But obviously, there were quite a few educators from Oahu and folks that were taking the flyers, taking pictures, and so hopefully we've seen a little bit of an uptick in registration from that, and I think a lot of people were very interested in that, particularly because it was free. I'll let Rick give an update here in a little bit. But I just wanted to say, overall, it was a really good event. Have some lessons learned and things that we would do for the next year if we decided to jump in again. But I think a lot of the educators were very happy to see us there. I think they were surprised to see Rotary at that event, and uh, some folks did also come out of it saying, "Hey, I need to go figure out what the status of my Interact Club is at school because I haven't heard from them in a long time." And maybe we can find some advisors for some Interact clubs or restarted Interact clubs through some of the leads that we formed at this event. So I think it's best though we follow up with the people that were interested. They gave us information. We scan their badges, and we'll see if there's any desire to have an Interact club. There was some folks that were interested in Interact clubs at the middle school level. They didn't know that we could do Interact at the middle school level. So there was a lot of interaction there with the DOE on these schools, and so I'm happy to report that there should be some movement there with our Interact. Saw the Priory folks there, Rick. They were interested in making sure that Honolulu was still available to support them. Priory schools said their Interact club was very active and they're doing a whole bunch of stuff. So hopefully,
well, I know Beth Ann's in there all the time with them. Did they not?
Okay, good. I don't know if they. Yeah, I think they said they hadn't seen her in a couple months, maybe. So just maybe if you want to follow up with Beth Ann.
I'll follow up.
Yeah, please do. So all in all, I think there was, it was still, we were competing obviously with a lot of different interests at the conference, but at the same time, a lot of folks from the Big Island made it over the conference. One person asked if we could get an Interact club down in Kau and Puna area. I'm not sure if that would be something we could do easily, but I think we'll continue to follow up with the leads that did sign up, and we'll let folks know on the specific Rotary clubs in those areas how they can support. So just stay tuned for that if there's anything that comes out for your specific areas. And then again, I think if you've done dictionaries in the past and your club hasn't done them recently, thinking COVID and whatever, the kids don't need dictionaries anymore, I would say that I received at least 10 comments about it at the conference saying we still want dictionaries. So if your club has not given out dictionaries in the past or hasn't and has stopped or hasn't in the past, and you have an elementary school in your area that you'd like to give dictionaries for, I think the educators still feel that's a very worthwhile and impactful project. And so I just want to give you that little bit of feedback that I received at the conference. And so for all of you who are in the day-to-day with your clubs and need some ideas for other projects or want to restart a project, the dictionary stuff was something that we were well known for in the past and continue to be well known for. And I think the educators do appreciate it. So it was one thing. I guess any questions, if anyone has any questions on the School of the Futures conference. I think as the name implies, it was a conference a little bit about how education is going to adapt here in the 21st century, and there was obviously a lot of talk about AI. But what I will say is that a lot of schools out there are trying to pivot, and this has been going on for a while, to what those in the industry called like problem-based learning or work-based learning projects. And so they're looking for service opportunities. They're looking for their students to get involved in projects so they can learn how to plan projects, and then they can learn how to lead projects, and they can also learn how those projects impact their communities and their environment, and et cetera, et cetera. So there was a lot of discussion about how Rotary could be a part of that. And if we could somehow make Interact and make the service learning a part of the actual curriculum for them. And these were a little bit more from the charter schools, maybe than the DOE, obviously, but from the private schools, the charter schools who were very interested in that. And so quite interestingly enough, I also heard from a couple teachers that were saying that their Interact club advisors from the DOE weren't doing what they should be doing, and they should step in and try to help out. And I said, we're just very thankful for all of the help that we get from the DOE. But if anyone is interested in helping out more in their Interact clubs, we would welcome it. And so I think hopefully that also resonated with some of the teachers. What I want to say the last thing on this on the Schools of the Future conference was that we did create a bunch of stuff for this event, in addition to some other stuff for other events too. But Mark has some very, very nice tablecloths to make any booth that you have at any outreach event look professional. The banner still is available also to make your booth look professional. So if you have any outreach events for your club that you're looking to do in the community, whether it's youth related or not, D5000 has resources available to help make your impact greater by having a more professional looking booth. We also did print out a lot of Interact flyers, RILA flyers, HRYF information. So if anybody's looking for stuff to, pass along to people in the community, we did get some of this stuff together for this event. So please don't be afraid to ask for anything that you might need if you have something coming up, because we do have other things coming up as well that I'll get to here in a bit. So that was the other thing I wanted to mention.
Just ask you for those things?
You can ask, and I will put you in contact with the right person. Right now,
All
I
right.
think a lot of it stays with Mark.
Okay, with Mark. Okay.
But I know the tablecloths went somewhere for a different event. I think it's our Rotary party coming up this Thursday at the downtown Hui for Honolulu is going to steal those Rotary tablecloths for a moment and hopefully return them, because they're really nice tablecloths. They're really nice. So if you have anything, please use them. You know, if you need obviously if you need them for RILA, take them for RILA. We want to make this as shareable as possible, but obviously we can't double book. So anyway, all right. Let's see here. HRYF. I'll move on here to HRYF. The training, I think, for the second time didn't really work out so well. So hopefully the third time is the charm, as Tina Yap put it. It's going to be this Saturday. They schedule it, of course, on the Saturdays that I can't make it. I couldn't make the last two, but this Saturday again on December 2nd. So rescheduled. What you should have seen is the applications came out for HRYF. So I've already passed it along to my 2 Interact clubs. But pass it on to your networks. I mean, it's not, the scholarship obviously isn't just for Interact, it's for any deserving youth. And so please go ahead and share that. I also did get a lot of feedback from the Schools of the Future conference saying that they were very appreciative of the scholarships that Rotary gives every year as well. So excuse me. Hopefully everyone has seen that. Has everyone seen that? Shaking their heads positively.
Right.
Yes.
They did not make the change on the purpose, so it's still tuition only.
Oh, okay. So there was a proposal to change the use of the funds, the purpose of the use of the funds, but that didn't get it into it. So now it's still only for tuition. Okay. So that's good to know. I guess it doesn't change anything for the public at this point, but yeah, it's still obviously a very expensive cost nowadays for tuition. So appreciate that. Just a reminder again too, so the trainings are coming up here, but it's gonna come up quickly. I mean, it's already end of November. Applications, obviously due at end of January, early the 1st of February, and then we'll have a very short turnaround to basically get the applications reviewed and then the interview scheduled, so you can go ahead and select your club's winner. That being said, I don't want to miss within the fold any of the hustle and bustle of that you still need to make sure your club is meeting its per capita goals of the $20 per person to qualify for the full $5,000 scholarship. If your club does not qualify, the scholarship amount is reduced. So please continue to track that if your club has not already made that threshold. Any questions on HRYF then, besides the training and the applications being now available?
Hi, this is Gladys. I just kind of assumed my role. I'm with the Waianae Coast Rotary Club
Sure.
in the youth services piece. I wanted to double check, and I'm going to attend the training on December 2nd too, so I can really hit the ground running, and attended some functions here locally as well. And I'm making those connections with our 3 local high schools. And with the HRYF application, if you're saying make that available to our contacts, are we providing them to the schools in our area, or is that something that District 5000 does?
So HRYF, oh, sorry, Naomi, you can go ahead.
The applications were mailed to all of the schools already.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So actually the
Thank you.
HRF office actually handles that. But they get sent to each school, but it's, it's always gets lost somewhere in the hustle and bustle, and the college counselors are supposed to be in charge, but they don't always see it. So just, my recommendation is just follow up with your schools in your area and just make sure they've got it. Your high
Perfect.
schools, obviously, and
Nope, I'll do that
and
this
keep
week
pushing.
just to make
Yep.
sure we establish those folks. Thank you.
All right. All right. No other questions on HROAF. I want to open it up to Ryla. And I'll let Rick start us off here for folks. Rick, you want to give an update on Ryla Oahu?
Yeah, sure. So, have you guys all heard me talk about Riley before? I don't want to repeat the same old,
Yes.
same old. Yeah. So, so the islands, so Maui, Big Island, and Oahu were all the same weekend, February 16th, Friday through Sunday, the 18th. It's kind of been slow. So, we were really fast. We quickly got like 14 folks signed up like right away. But those were my connections that happened right away. Nobody else. Just today, Ryan, two youth from MidPac signed up.
Awesome.
So I imagine Jonah's over at MidPac, so he's working it for me.
I also sent it to the Interact clubs to make sure they signed up too. So they should have gotten it from both sides. But yep.
So a couple there. Nobody from Roosevelt just yet.
I'm seeing them this week, and I will make them sign up this week.
Okay. And then none of the other schools. So Jonah graduated with us last year. He was picked to be, you may have heard this already, but commencement speaker. And he's really gung-ho, although he's not signing up and he's not in Interact. So he's a very interesting young man. So he and I have been speaking together. So we went to the Pacific Buddhist Academy and spoke to them. That entire class would sign up in a heartbeat, but we've stopped them at about 12 kids right now. But we want to get, I don't know if anybody else has the connections that are on this. I don't want to, push. It'd be good if other programs pushed it to their schools and at least got a couple kids to sign up. We have room for 50 kids, and we can go. We have all the room in the world there at Camp Erdman, just because Camp Erdman is, our Rotary is very connected. We've put over $125,000 into fixing it up. They're bending over backwards for us. One of our members is Don Anderson. He was president of YMCA for many, many, many years. He's actually going to be our opening presenter. He's going to present the history of Camp Erdman. And I just went to Cambodia. That's the sunset in Cambodia behind me, and Vietnam with them, and spent some time with them. But it would be, I just hope that we get other schools signing up. And it is beating a dead horse here, but last year I contacted all the schools. I don't want to do that this year. I really hope that the other Rotary clubs will make those contacts. So we've got Joseph Campbell, we've got Pacific Buddhist Academy, really, really rocking. And we could get a lot more from those two schools, but we don't want to do that. We want to make sure it's island-wide and have a variety of folks coming. I have about 15 volunteers signed up so far, and we'll probably have over 20 this year, just to appease folks with the $175. Clubs are actually doing some fundraising stuff. So I don't see Nicole. She's got a fundraiser coming up to try to raise money to pay for their volunteers. So we're doing some really creative stuff. Eva Beach has already done a fundraiser. They actually have a Zippy's fundraiser going on right now. I just bought a bunch of chili. And they're doing real creative things. We also, I'll just say again, for Ryla, for here on Oahu, someone's going to get a scholarship. I don't know how much money we're going to have. I don't know how many scholarships we're going to give. If somebody would like to be a judge, we're going to do the 4-way test speech contest for seniors at Campfire. Lila Berg's agreed to be a judge, and I've got a couple other people that have agreed. Herb Lee might come and play guitar. We got Alex playing guitar, the taiko drums from Pacific Buddhist Academy. They've signed on to perform as well. So we got a lot of cool things happening. And again, it's Camp Erdman, so it's going to be a lot more active, a lot less didactic, if you will. So I had to cut back on a lot of the speaking stuff. I pretty much got everything lined up. Now we just need the students to sign up, and then we can start working with them a little bit, especially the youth facilitators, to help them understand what they're going to be doing. So if anybody out there, Ryan, or anybody, if you need a speaker, I'm happy to come out, and Jonah is very eager to join me. So we actually have somebody that's been through RILA. He's a real good speaker. So I think it was a really good tag team when we do go to places. He's told me, and actually Megan Lee, who's the teacher, they want us to come back and do some other speeches. So we will, but for RILA, we just need to promote it more. And we've got twice as many signed up as we did last year at this time. But we're still way short on where we should be. I know it's a lot, $250 a member. And maybe that's part of the slowdown, but what you get for the $250, what they're going to get is really pretty remarkable. I mean, you get two nights, 4 days, 3 days, all the meals are included, the lodging is included. Nobody charges us to come speak. The lessons are, really, they're life-changing. So I hope we get more. That's all I'll say. I'll let it go with that.
Yeah,
So
I
Rick-
hope so
so
too. Yep.
So Rick, I have a question. What
Yeah,
are the
Joni.
ages? What are the ages of
Oh,
grades?
okay. Sure, I can do that again. So ninth through senior. We really prefer sophomores and juniors. And the reason is because people can repeat. So if a junior comes, they can come back as a senior and be a youth facilitator. And that way they can actually apply what they've learned and they can just take it to the next level. It's pretty cool setup. Sometimes freshmen are a little bit too young. We've had some really squirrely freshmen that have really kind of held back some Ohanas, but we've also had some remarkable freshmen. So ideally, the median would be that sophomore, junior year, but we will take freshmen and we'll take seniors. And they can come 2 years in a row or 2 years. So they can come a second time and be a youth facilitator the second time.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
go
the
ahead,
purpose
Johnny.
and the purpose of the camp is youth leadership.
Yeah, so it's teaching youth leadership. So youth are our future, and we really do spend a lot of time teaching them. We'll use Rotary principles, which have been vetted for years and years and years, but we do it in a very experiential way. So Joni, do you know Camp Erdman, how it's laid out?
I do.
Yeah, so we're going to be outside and we're going to be doing all of those activities. And so those Ohanas of 10 kids that we have, they're going to be very bonded because they're going to go through everything together. So it's a little different than we've done in the past. That bonding is going to happen from going through the ropes course, the hikes, the swimming, all the stuff that we have for them. So it's pretty exciting what's going to happen. So, yeah. And so our standard feedback we get from kids is, I was really shy when I went, but now I'm not afraid to speak up. Or parents will say, boy, my daughter went and she would never stand up for herself. Oh my gosh, now she leads, So it really is life-changing what happens for you as long as they participate. You can slide through this too and complain and whine and not do stuff. We've had a few kids do that. And I'm kind of keying into that this year to try to hope that we can make sure everybody participate, because those kids that slug and complain and whine that this isn't, it's just ridiculous. They hold their back everybody else, and so we don't want that. So I had it pointed out to me this year, like really in the last couple of months, and even with pictures, and I've since run into those kids. It's kind of funny. I'm just gonna out them. Megan Lee said that they'd merged some programs together. And with that came a couple of kids that have been really, really holding back the class. I walk in the room to present, and there they are. The very two kids that Lee showed me the pictures of. Like, okay, Megan, I know exactly who you're talking about. So for my presentation for that class I talked about, you'll get out of it what you put into it. And if you want to look for the negative and be putting it down, then that's what you're going to walk away with. A dog walks in a mirror with a room with 1,000 mirrors and walks out laughing. Another dog walks in the same room, comes out growling. It's a matter of what you want to do and what you're going to get out of it. So that's kind of how we approach it. So it's a lot of that, and 4-way tests, the Rotary values, what's going to be kind of cool this year, now I'm probably repeating and you've heard me say this, but I want to use the peace pole that our club actually put in up at Camp Erdman, and each Ohana put in a goal. And then next year when we come back, I want to take that goal out from the peace pole, see where we are with that, and see what we can add to it, and just keep working with that, you know, throughout the years since we put the peace pole in. So it's a time capsule, but I want to make an interactive time capsule. And Amanda Ellis, who is a UN ambassador, and she does a lot of teaching on world values, she's agreed to kind of lead that presentation and get the Ohanas working on a goal that, you know, could be a world view goal. And we'll go from there. So those are the kind of things we do. We're gonna clean the beach. I probably already told you, but the Sustainable Coastline has definitely agreed to come to help clean the beach. I know Thompson did this 45-minute video. We've decided we're gonna run that Saturday morning at breakfast before people they'll be waking up instead of falling asleep. Last year they fell asleep on me, but it's one of the most powerful things I've seen. So we're gonna try to run it at breakfast. But what we're going to do is I'm gonna have Nicole, no, she doesn't join us. I'm gonna have Nicola work out a reward system. We're gonna have a little test at the end to see if they paid attention. So maybe they pay a little closer attention because they're gonna get play money that they can use that actually will cash into real dollars at the end if they really, you know, if they win. So kind of exciting. But we need 50. We really want 50 kids so we can have 5 Ohanas of 10 youth to go through this together with us.
Yeah, I think it's you know, we need to really push on our Interact clubs, and so I have the list here. Please, you know, there's no reason why we shouldn't have at least a couple of people from each Interact club, as to me. And so, if you got something, you know, like, you know, IA or Pearl City or Farrington and IPA, if possible, you know, all any of these schools, really, St. Andrews should be out there if possible. You know, we should try to get students from our Interact clubs, but you know, if we, you know, they don't have to be from the Interact clubs. Obviously, they can be from any club. So, or any school, high school in that kind of age range. And so,
any high school.
I think the other, you know, interesting thing is that we, you know, obviously the transportation is always the hard part, but the RILA committee here in Oahu handles all of that. So it's really, you know, it's really the logistics of it are all taken care of. You just got to really find the people. So, you know, we'll continue to push on it. So yeah, I implore anyone, you know, everyone here, or if you're watching this later, to find some students, and you know, you find the students and we'll figure out the sponsorship and the money, you know, after. But because I think right now we've got space for 50, and if we had more money, we could fit more. So I think it's, you know, we gotta ask these schools to get their Interact clubs out and engaged and at RILA.
Yeah.
All right. I do want to talk a little bit about so Maui and the Big Island, or Hawaii Island, they both are doing RILA on the same day, same weekend as well. And so the registrations for all of them are live as well. So if you go to rilahawaii.org, if you haven't seen something specifically from the planning committees on Hawaii Island or Maui Island, the registrations are live. So if you just go to, again, rilahawaii.org, you'll be able to at least sign up your kids, and then there'll be some details there. But if try to get a recap for, or update for those two islands here in a little bit. Kauai is actually, so Cyrus is on Kauai, Poipu Beach, I think, is working on the Kauai RILA. Excuse me, and they have it scheduled for Saturday, February 17th. It'll be a one-day RILA, but it's good that they're having it in general. Saturday, February 17th, they're doing that in partnership with another organization, Leadership Kauai. But I think, you know, it's still a good opportunity here for our Rotarians and our youth on Kauai to be involved in this one-day program on Kauai. I haven't heard an update from Cyrus recently, so I'm going to double check and make sure everything's still moving forward on that. But this was as of just right after our last meeting, so just about a month ago. So again, so happy to report again, RILA is happening on every county here, maybe not every island, every county, but please, it does rely on us to spread the word as well as find worthy folks to sign up for it. Any questions on RILA? Okay, Junior Ryla. Naomi, did we wrap up the books on Junior Ryla this year? We still, okay, good. All right. So, um, I think at some point, the committee is still around. We're gonna figure out what our goals will be for next year, but just stand by here on Junior Ryla. It did occur a couple of months ago, and so the committee will regroup here and look to plan another one here in the next Rotary year. I'm gonna skip programs, other ideas, projects. We can talk a little bit about that if anybody has any real desire to at some point. But I want to go to the Campbell for Causes listed here under upcoming events. I have committed us to doing this event here at James Campbell High School. It's I think just like Rick said, you get what you put in it, and what you get is what you get out of it. And so I know folks at Eva Beach Rotary Club have been interested in getting their Interact Club at Campbell High School started or restarted. This is one way, and I'll make sure we try to get folks out here from the Eva Beach Club as well. But from just a short period, a short morning in Friday morning on December 15th, we get to be present there at their this event called Campbell for Causes, and it's where the students get to learn a little bit about different service organizations out in their community. And so I will borrow the tablecloths and the other youth service information and brochures that we have. But if anybody knows anyone that would like to attend this, obviously it's kind of in the middle of a work day, so it's kind of hard. But if we can get Cindy from Eva Beach Club or someone from Eva Beach Club in addition to me, I think that would be helpful. And because I don't want to be the only person there representing D5000. It'd be great to get someone from the local Rotary clubs, and the one that would like to take on a potential future Campbell Interact Club to be at this booth as well. It's really just a short time. It's not even the full 10:30 to 11:30. I just blocked it out so folks reserved an hour. But we'll be in there for just about 45 minutes or so, and I'm sure it'll be a little bit of a mad rush with all the different students. But it is a chance to at least get there and meet folks and try to exchange information with folks that might be interested in leading this new Interact Club. So
did Elaine respond to that email?
Elaine,
The president of the Eva Beach Club?
she did not, as far as I saw, but
Okay.
I did.
I'll follow up with her and Cindy then.
Yeah, that would be helpful. I don't know of course, I know I just saw this email, so I don't know why it's like slipped my inbox here, but um, yeah, that'd be good if Eva Beach could be there.
Okay.
Absolutely. We do need to fill the form out by December 1st, so I'll go ahead and complete it, and I'll send it back in, and then we'll go from there. All right. Any questions on that then? All right. That being said, I just, it's a small group today, so we went through it pretty quickly. If there's anyone or anything that any club that needs help working with their Interact clubs, I'd be happy to help out. A couple of things that we're getting my Interact clubs involved in this year are we're going to be doing some Christmas caroling over at Family Programs Hawaii. We're going to be doing some kupuna cards for the holidays for I can't remember the organization of the but it's in my inbox somewhere. But both Roosevelt and Mid-Pacific have agreed to provide some holiday well wishes card for. Those are some just project ideas that how I'm getting my Interact involved this Christmas time. MidPac always does angel tree, so that's something that if your club is interested to try to work through a different kind of fundraising cause, angel tree is always a good one. So just there's a lot of different ideas, a lot of different good things going on out there. If anybody has or needs any need for project ideas or other things to do, please do let me know. A couple of emails that I got this weekend, and I'm going to share here, but Mark and Naomi can correct me if I shouldn't share them. But I think there's a Waianae Coast Rotary Parade. And if folks, it sounds like it's open to any Rotarian. I'd be almost certain to be therefore open to any Interact club.
Do you know
So
what time that's at, Brian?
hopefully Gladys can tell you because she's with Waianae Coast.
Yeah. Gladys, what time is that at?
Well, our rally point is probably about 7 or 8. It's when our volunteers are gonna be showing up, like,
In the morning or
so it
evening?
kicks off. Morning, sorry. We have a morning parade, yes.
Okay.
And
Can
then
I-
our parade route is from Waianae Boat Harbor to the Waianae Mall.
And
The
before-
email that Craig sent out said 8:15 to be there at 8:15.
And the parade is
No.
from what time to what time?
You know, so funny, I'm so focused on the 8 to 7, 8 o'clock. I mean, for our club to show.
Well, the reason I'm
I will
asking is
find out for you.
I do Shaka Santa Claus stuff, and I was asked to MC with the governor, but I'm also doing Club 100 on the same day, and it's a lunchtime
Ah.
thing. So I'm just trying to see. I would imagine it conflicts with the same time that I'm
This is
already
morning.
committed.
This is the morning parade. I think it starts at 10. And it's
Well,
about
yeah,
it's about a
well-
mile walk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I might be able to. Somebody can just give me the times so I can compare it to what I have to do. So I could
Yep.
reply
Um,
to.
Rick,
Can
what
I
is
take
your
your
email? Yeah.
I was,
before the-
Okay, I'll put my email in here real quick.
Put it in the
Okay.
chat.
Yeah.
But is our youth welcome there? Can we bring our Interact club chaperoned, obviously?
you know, I would say yes, because we do need additional hands. We've reached out for
that's
additional
wrong.
folks from
I got too
Waianae
many.
High
I got
School.
pictures of teacher.
Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Gladys.
We have reached out. Waianae High School does not at present have an Interact club, but they have a super enthusiastic new teacher who is willing to, you know, work with that. But she's also scrounging up volunteers for us. So we could use extra hands, especially banner carriers, that kind of thing. Apparently, you know, and I've been away from home for about a year and a half and just recently got back. So I'm just getting my feet back into things and getting back up to speed. But we do need banner carriers. So if you have folks that are, you know, like you said, the Chaperone Interact Club members, we absolutely can use that. And with an 8:15, you know, rally point, that kind of thing. But we will also be working with, you know, our typical volunteers, and Waianae High School is working with their different clubs to get us some additional students as well.
Great.
Can I tell you my experience from last year with the parade? So,
Sure.
Yes.
and Mark will be in the car. There'll be a car with our with Mark and Kathleen, and we're gonna get there early so we can decorate the car. And so whatever Rotarians are around, we're gonna walk with the car in the parade routes. It's about a mile and a half. It's not far, and it's slow. And we're kind of like in the beginning of the parade, and it goes from the Boat Harbor to the shopping center, Waianae Mall Shopping Center. So I park at the shopping center, and then I walked to the Boat Harbor, and I don't think we decorated the car last year. I think it was already done, but then we just walk with the car, and we brought stuffed animals. Natasha Claren is on my club, and she's so creative. So we just had, we got little stuffed animals, and we gave them out to kids along the parade route. Some people have candy and they throw out to the people. But it's easy. It's no demand on us. We just walk with the car.
And
I
then-
don't know.
Yeah, it should be just like that. And Mr. Tabor, Rick, I'm confirming 10 a.m. I'm looking at I dug out my application for the parade, so it does begin at 10 a.m.
Yeah,
but,
Craig
you know,
Craig
club-
just emailed, said 10 o'clock till 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So
Great.
I know it's coming up here on the 9th, but it would be great if we could even have some of our youth clubs around to support Mark in the car.
Definitely. That would be
and,
nice.
and hold
yes.
the banners. And so I will
Yes.
put, you know, if you're on this, you know, if you're watching, I'll send this recording out shortly after early, you know, this week, hopefully tomorrow. And if you're listening to this, you know, if you have an interest to bring a club in that area, Interact club in that area to help out, please email. You can email me and I can help coordinate. So you can email me at youthservices@rotaryd5000.org. I will ask both Mid Pacific and Roosevelt if they're interested. It's a little far of a drive for them, but they might be interested to spend a day out on that side of the island and
That would be awesome.
wave
And then,
and yeah.
and our committee chair, one of our committee chairs for the parade, Miss Nalani Flynn.
Of
So
course, of
she's
course.
coordinating, yep. She's
All right.
coordinating all that piece of it in terms of the volunteers and whatnot. So if you're gathering kind of from some of the clubs that if you would please connect with Nalani, just so we make sure that she, has that, because she'll be delighted, I'm sure, to have all those extra folks, extra hands.
Awesome. All right. And then last on my list I had was I just want to give a quick I think there's an opportunity for, and Mark can speak to this a little bit too, but for a presentation to be done by one of the Rotarians for the Honolulu Club about making a good first impression. It's I think it's a very important topic. We've asked the presenter to give us some information about how this would be given out to our youth. I think specifically wanted to reach Interact and Rotaract clubs. We'll try to give you some more information, but if anybody is interested in receiving a presentation like that, please let me know. And I'll try to make some connections for you. It would be a specific presentation by Rotarian that has a presentation prepared for this about making a good first impression. I've asked the person to hopefully kind of do a little bit of consideration to working with high school students, because at this point it's very hard to get their attention for more than 30 minutes during a school day. If that, 15 minutes is probably the most I ever get at my Interact Club meetings. So trying to figure out how that would work, but I do think it's a worthy topic. I do think it's a worthy effort to have our youth be more forward and be more prepared to make a good first impression. And so if anybody's listening to this and again you think that might be something your Interact Club might be interested in, please send me an email at youthservices@rotaryd5000.org, and I will try to get some more information and connect it to you while I await some.
I think would help him with this potentially worthy. It's an important topic. He needs to modify it to current times, and I've said all of that. If we teamed him with the youth,
investments and help make this good for everyone. So we'll go from there. All right. Anyone else that have any questions or thoughts on youth service? I think so. Our next meeting will be around the holidays, so you're really probably not going to hear much. We might have to reschedule the Christmas one to a different day. We'll figure out when that is. But might get it less than 9 people on that one. But any questions on that on youth services? I think there's just a lot going on. So I think even though we're gonna head into the holidays here, we need a lot of help from everyone. For RYLA, for HRYF, keep your clubs active in the school year, and we're going to be trying to chase down some leads from the conference. And so there's a lot going on. I hope everyone can really find some time during their busy holiday schedule to make this a priority. And so if anybody has any need for help or assistance, I'm always here. So any thoughts, Naomi?
I'm going to temperature check on Junior RYLA on whether this group feels that we should continue that virtual one. Westmont wants to do in-person on each island. So I know it's going to take a lot of time and organization to do that, but what do people feel about virtual Junior RYLA?
Naomi, I was talking to the advisor for the Mililani Interact Club at Mililani Middle School Interact Club, and she said the virtual one is not very well received by the students. They're kind of, zoomed out, was her words.
Okay.
One suggestion was maybe invite them, and I don't know if it's possible, to the Ryla camp for like a day or some kind of activities together with the high schoolers. That was just a suggestion.
Well, or we could do a day there. I'm sure Camp Erdman would work with us if we did,
Oh.
and I'm willing to help out with that, because once we go
Not
through
only-
it, well, once we go through it with the high school kids and we actually do that, then we're going to have a program kind of shaped up. Ryan came up and we
Right.
went through it together as volunteers. But once we kind of shape it for the kids, we can do that. That could be for any ages. You know,
I
Not
yeah, I was
overnight. Yeah, just a day.
just
Yeah.
a day.
just a day,
yeah.
just a day, come up for a few
Yeah.
hours.
Oh, they
mean-
would love it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Naomi, I said I kind of figured you guys were asking the question. I think I heard Wes mention it too, so I didn't know if you were ready to give us any updates on that. But my thoughts are similar. I think there's the attention span of the middle school students on
Right.
Zoom is probably less than the high school students on Zoom, and so
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
so it's I could see why that would be a good thing, but it would take a lot of work for sure. And so I look forward to hearing what the community has to propose. But I do support a in-person day, even if it's like,
Yeah.
just a couple of hours over at Camp Erdman for Oahu. That'd be pretty cool.
Or would it be more like our youth celebration that we have?
We have to make some decisions if we're going to do that this year. It was a lot of effort too.
I know. Yeah.
So it could be something similar to that too. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
If on December 15th, anybody has energy in the evening, I'll be Linda Coble and I will be Shaka Santa Claus and Tutumeli at the Palama settlement. And Mark, you might want to come. We're going to give toys out to 1,000. It'll be mostly Micronesian kids. This will be the only gift they get in the year. So we're coming back. So this is my 7th year Shaka Santa Claus there. My cousin used to be the administrator there for 30 years down at Taniguchi. But Sam, in our Rotary Club of Honolulu, we've been doing a lot of things together. I'm on the committee for this function. So it'll be from 4:30 to 9 o'clock. The Rotary is going to be a big part of it this year. So we could use help. They have food, they have games, they have live music. Media is going to come. Sylvia Luke's going to come and say hi. She likes to come see Shaka Santa Claus. She just text me that she'll be there. I don't know. She'll just pop in and be there for a little while and leave. But it's a huge undertaking and we could use all the help we could get. So it's not just for our Rotary. Anything I do, I try to open it up to everybody. So if anybody wants to help out, they're certainly welcome to. Just again, you got my email. Get a hold of me. I'm on the committee. We're going to meet again December 4th and kind of finalize plans, and then we can go from there. So if you're interested, I know it's a busy, like Ryan said, busy time. I actually have 5 Shaka Santa Claus appearances lined up
Oh my
here,
gosh.
all in December. So I just washed my beard and my wig for the first time. It looks great. it was starting to take on a little bit of a tint. So I better watch it.
It's gonna be a busy Christmas for sure, and I think our next meeting might be scheduled for Christmas Day. So obviously we won't do it then, but but we'll do it sometime else in the month. Sometime we'll find some time so folks can be reminded of all the very important things happening. But I'm happy to let everyone out here 5 minutes early. My son is screaming at me already, and so I will see you all in a month. Thanks, everyone.
Here's the picture of the Waianae car. That's Randy Hart in that car.
Oh yeah, nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Mm.
Thank you all.
Ryan. Good job, Ryan.
Thanks. Appreciate it. See you
Bye.
guys. Happy holidays.
Aloha.